energetic sovereignty, sacred boundaries, and relational prosperity. Quantum opening. Your mind is the laboratory where reality learns to take shape. Your heart is the altar where love remembers itself. Your body is the temple that holds the living ray of your spirit. Today, the memory of your energetic sovereignty is activated. The art of saying yes to your essence and yes to life, establishing sacred boundaries that open the way to prosperous, clear, and loving relationships. Section 1. Deep Gaze, the Circle of Fire, and the Garden. Energetic sovereignty describes the ability to guard your own vital field with presence, love, and clarity. It is not reduced to rigid defense or emotional isolation. It resembles a conscious circle of fire that surrounds you and at the same time nourishes you. That fire does not burn others. It illuminates who you are and marks the perimeter of your inner garden. In the garden of consciousness, every seed is a yes. Each boundary is a living fence that protects the most delicate sprouts. When there are no boundaries, the garden becomes confused and the sap spills into channels that do not nourish. When the boundary is loving, the sap rises and legitimate fruits blossom, reciprocal bonds, clear agreements, authentic collaboration, intimacy that honors. The soul's journey recognizes archetypes that accompany sovereignty. The warrior of light inspires clarity and focused action. The great mother offers care and nourishment. The inner sage guides with discernment. The sacred lover remembers the fusion of pleasure, beauty, and truth. The king or queen holds the throne of their own center, not to dominate, but to bring order to the inner kingdom. Sovereignty is the harmonious concert of these archetypes within a single heart. The sacred boundary is not opposed to love. It is its responsible form. Just as the river bed allows the river to flow without overflowing, the boundary gives shape to your energy. Without shape, creative impulse loses its power. With shape, the impulse becomes work, service, and shared prosperity. Section 2. Scientific and Psychological Foundations. Humanistic and transpersonal psychology frame sovereignty as a movement toward authenticity and self-actualization. Carl Rogers called this congruence, alignment between what is felt, thought, and expressed. Abraham Maslow described it as satisfied needs that enable being values, creativity, and purpose. Transpersonal psychology expands the map, integrating expanded states of consciousness and a sense of transcendence, with the self as a wave that recognizes the ocean. Neuroscience provides its own insights. Neuroplasticity enables the reconnection of neural networks when a practice is repeated with intention and emotion. The autonomic nervous system regulates openness or contraction in response to stimuli. Cardiac coherence synchronizes the heart's rhythm with brain activity, promoting clarity and empathy. Sacred boundaries emerge more easily in states of coherence because inner clarity leads to more appropriate external decisions. From a relational perspective, attachment theory reveals patterns that shape the way we give and receive. Without sovereignty, the self seeks approval or control. With sovereignty, the self offers presence and agreement. Assertive communication translates the inner world into clear words without violence or submission. Sovereignty is the dance between vulnerability and structure, tenderness and strength, listening and direction. A symbolic example. A person with a tendency to please gives their time to every request. Their energy drops, resentment rises, and the relationship becomes tainted. When the person states their true availability, renegotiates agreements, and sets boundaries on their time, guilt gives way to respect, and the relationship becomes orderly. Relational prosperity flourishes because the exchange becomes fair again. Section 3. Applied Biodecoding. The body as a gentle oracle. The body registers every yes and every no. When boundaries become blurred, signals appear. The throat tightens when the voice is not expressed. The lower back complains when someone else's burden is taken on as one's own. The skin reacts when the boundary between inside and outside is lost. The gut becomes unsettled when what is swallowed cannot be digested emotionally. These correlations act as living metaphors that call for honesty and adjustment. Pathway to somato-emotional release. Step 1. Bodily awareness. Bring your attention to where the tension appears. Name the sensation. Gently caress the area with slow, deep breaths. Step 2. Emotional validation. Acknowledge the present feeling, fear, guilt, excessive responsibility, shame, anger. Give it a place in your heart. Step 3. Symbolic translation. Ask with your body, from inner silence, what boundary needs to be set. Listen for images, colors, or words that arise without forcing them. 4. Minimum viable action. Choose a clear, loving, and firm micro-action. Postpone a meeting, renegotiate a deadline, say a brief and respectful no, ask for support. 5. Integration. Write down what you did and thank your body for its guidance. Repeat the cycle until the gesture becomes a habit. Note of caution. These symbolic readings do not replace professional diagnosis or treatment. Every physical process requires responsible medical support when appropriate. The language of the body complements medical care. It does not replace it. Takes. Section 4. Quantum NLP tools. NLP provides maps to retrain the mind and expand internal resources. Integrated into a spiritual vision, it becomes quantum NLP because it honors the observer, the intention, and the energy that organizes the form. A nap. 4U1. Alignment of intention and state. 1. Axis posture. Feet rooted, spine erect, crown to the sky. Slow inhalation counting to 6. Exhale counting 6. 2. Cardiac coherence. Imagine breathing through your heart for 3 minutes, cultivating gratitude for a real memory. 3. Statement of direction. A direct, present tense phrase. I guard my energy with love and clarity. I establish prosperous and reciprocal agreements. 4. Somatic anchoring. Touch your sternum with your palm while repeating the statement. Repeat for 21 days. Here you go. 4.2. Boundary architecture with submodalities. Submodalities are the sensory qualities of mental images. Changing submodalities changes the meaning. 1. Bring to mind an interaction where the boundary is blurred. 2. Observe the image and reduce its size, brightness, and proximity. 3. Create a second image where the boundary appears clear and loving. Serene tone of voice, firm posture, open expression. 4. Increase the brightness, sharpness, and proximity of the second image until it takes the foreground. 5. Seal it with the anchoring gesture on the sternum and a deep breath. 4.3. Identity switch to shift from people-pleasing to presence. 1. Image A, the people-pleasing self, small in black and white, far away. 2. Image B, the sovereign self, full color, dignified posture, warm gaze, clear voice. 3. With a quick movement, send B over A like a wave of light that transforms it. 4. Repeat the swish 5 times. 5. Check physical and emotional sensations. Record in a journal. Pray. 4.4. 6-step reframe for persistent patterns. 1. Identify the behavior to be transformed. 2. Thank the positive intention that originated it, even if the current result is not useful. 3. Invite the unconscious mind to generate 3 more elegant alternatives that honor the same intention. 4. Evaluate congruence with the body. 5. Choose one alternative and practice it in visualization for 1 minute, 3 times a day. 6. Observe results and adjust. Prapro. 4.5. Compassionate meta model for clear agreements. 1. From general to specific, change vague phrases to observable facts. 2. From interpretation to sensation, translate assumptions into present emotions. 3. From requirement to request, transform duties into specific requests with a date, form, and scope. 4. From negotiation to co-creation, designing win-win agreements in a realistic way. Haikaura. 4.6. Timeline for repairing microbe trails. 1. Visualize a line that represents your story. 2. Walking with your imagination toward moments of micro-betrayal of your own limits. 3. Bring current resources to the symbolic past, clarity, tenderness, voice. 4. Close with an internal embrace and a phrase. I honor who I was and activate who I am. 5. Return to the present and bless the new path. Section 5. Spiritual perspective and Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness radiates unity, active compassion, and love that brings order. Love is not confusion. Love is a luminous yes to the truth. Love recognizes the dignity of the other and of oneself. The sacred boundary is born from that caring love, not from the wound that separates, from the lucid emptiness of Buddhist philosophy all form is insubstantial and relational. The self that protects the boundary is a dance of causes and conditions. In that understanding, rigidity gives way and a flexible, conscious boundary appears. The boundary is not driven in like a spear, it settles like a mudra. The energy becomes circular, not linear. Giving and receiving breathe together. Psychomagic proposes symbolic acts that correct the internal script. A simple and powerful example: write your name on a sheet of paper, draw a golden circle around it, and with a red thread, tie 3 knots while declaring your pact of care. This act informs the unconscious in the language it understands: symbol, gesture, matter. Sovereignty does not mean emotional distance. Sovereignty means responsible presence. Christ consciousness inspires service without sacrifice and giving without self-annihilation. The bread is broken because there is bread. The cup is shared because it is full. The limit is the cup. Fullness is the wine. Section 6. Integrative Ritual. Living Circle Ceremony. Approximate total duration 18 to 24 minutes. 1. Preparing the space. Soft light or a candle, a glass of water, and a red ribbon. Paper and pencil. Soft music without lyrics. 2. Grounding. Standing. Feet firmly planted. 3 deep breaths. Hands to the heart. Declaration: I inhabit my center. 3. Drawing the circle. With your imagination, draw a golden circle of light 1 meter in diameter around your feet. Perceive the circle rising as a protective sphere. Declaration: this is my living circle. 4. Invocation of archetypes. Warrior of light, clarity, and right action. Great mother, nurturing care. Inner sage, discernment. Sacred lover, beauty and tenderness. Queen or king, order and abundance. Declaration: all serve love. 5. Writing agreements. On the paper, write 3 sacred boundaries in the present tense, simple and measurable. Sign the paper, fold it, and place it over your heart for a few seconds. 6. Red knot. With the red ribbon, make 3 knots. First knot, loving protection. Second knot, clear communication. Third knot, prosperous reciprocity. Wear the strap on your wrist or keep it in your wallet. 7. Sealing water. Hold the glass with both hands and give thanks. Drink slowly, integrating the intention. 8. Final movement. Raise your arms and open your chest. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Declaration: I walk in my truth with gentleness and firmness. Tumasara. Practical tools for everyday life. 1. The 24/3 rule. 3 practices of 24 conscious breaths distributed throughout the day. Morning for clarity, afternoon for focus, evening for integration. 2. Boundary journal. 4 columns: situation, emotion, boundary expressed, result. Weekly review of patterns and micro-adjustments. 3. Language of agreements. Short phrases without excessive justifications. Suggested form, availability, condition, and proposal. Example: I am available on Thursday. I propose 30 minutes and a concrete objective. 4. Signs of drifting. Sustained fatigue, diffuse irritation, recurring sense of injustice. When these appear, activate a 3-minute heart coherence pause and return to the framework. 5. Listening to both no and yes. No protects yes. Saying no to what drains you creates space for what nourishes you. Record every loving no and celebrate its effect. 6. Review your social circle. Deepen closeness with those who honor your boundaries. Establish functional distance with those who insist on crossing them. Redesign agreements or end relationships that systematically ignore your dignity. Relational prosperity. The soul's economy in action. Relational prosperity is born from the balance between giving and receiving. The sacred boundary regulates the flow. When you give from excess, the soul's economy goes into deficit. When you receive with gratitude and reciprocity, the circuit thrives. Keys to relational abundance. 1. Fair value. Honor your own contribution and that of others. 2. Clarity in exchange. Define time, energy, and scope. 3. Care for the channel, rest. Creative silence, nature. 4. Conscious gratitude. Acknowledge what you have received publicly. 5. Iterative learning. Adjust agreements based on real data. Couples, friendships, families, creative teams, and communities all benefit from this architecture. A clear boundary prevents invisible emotional debt. An explicit agreement protects trust. A healthy rhythm keeps projects and relationships alive. Travihora, power of the mind. Neuroplasticity applied to sovereignty. 1. Clean line visualization. Imagine a line of light running through your body from your feet to the crown of your head. Each inhale strengthens the line. Each exhale releases interference. 5 minutes daily, preferably upon waking. 2. Embodied affirmations. Affirm in a moderate voice and with an open posture. Examples: my energy is clear, my heart is tender, my voice is firm. I give and receive from prosperous agreements. My circle protects my essence and enriches my relationships. 3. Conscious focus. 52-17 rule for creative tasks. 52 minutes of focus, 17 of recovery. During the 17, breathing, water, gentle stretching. Focus will take care of your energy, and your energy will sustain your focus. 4. Training in the brief no. Practice a 5-word no, followed by a proposal. Example: not right now, I suggest Friday. Repeat in front of the mirror 3 times a day for a week. Ethics of care. Gentle firmness. Gentle firmness combines clarity and kindness. It is expressed without irony, without guilt, without over-explaining. It is grounded in a presence that breathes, looks you in the eye, and is mindful of its words. Those who practice gentle firmness do not compete to be right. They walk in truth with dignity and let the facts speak for themselves. Active compassion recognizes both one's own limits and those of others. Saying no to a demand that violates the soul is saying yes to the life that wants to flourish. Forgiving does not mean allowing the same thing to happen again. Accepting does not mean tolerating abuse. Loving does not mean abandoning yourself. A boundary is sacred. It is a high vibration medicine. Meres, symbolic acts of everyday psychomagic. 1. The letter of yes. Handwrite a yes that you wish to embody in every cell of your being. Keep it under your pillow for 7 nights. Burn it in a bowl and blow the ashes toward the sky. 2. Purification salt. A warm bath with coarse salt for 9 minutes. Visualize the salt drawing out foreign energies. Thank the water and return it to the earth with respect. 3. Clarity amulet. A clear quartz or a simple, meaningful object. Charge it with the decree of your sovereignty. Carry it with you to key meetings. Chryso, archetypal integration in daily life. Warrior's morning, orderly action, clear agenda, a single priority. Queen or king's midday, courageous decisions, care for the team. Sage's afternoon, review, learning, fine-tuning. Night of the great mother and sacred lover, deep rest, tenderness, simple beauty. This wheel keeps the fire burning without consuming the wood. The day becomes a ceremony. The week becomes a tapestry. Life becomes music. Blas, a decision matrix with sacred boundaries. It uses 4 simple quadrants. 1. High value for purpose and high value for the heart. Radiant yes, high priority. 2. High value for purpose and low value for the heart. Conditional yes with clear boundaries. Requires redesign. 3. Low value for purpose and high value for the heart. Yes for brief nourishment or conscious pause. 4. Low value for purpose and low value for the heart. Kind no, respectful closure. Review this matrix every Sunday afternoon. Today's clarity prevents tomorrow's not. Moraser, microscripts for assertive communication. 1. Time boundary. I have 20 minutes available. Can we focus on the main point? 2. Energy boundary. Today I need silence to take care of my energy. I appreciate picking this up again tomorrow. 3. Financial boundary. For this collaboration, I propose a fair exchange under these terms. 4. Emotional boundary. This way of speaking affects me. I prefer to continue from a place of mutual respect. 5. Scope boundary. This is as far as I can contribute. For the rest, I suggest this alternative. These scripts work like guardrails that guide the flow without violence. The form protects the substance. Aikunesu, high vibration closing. Master phrase. The gentleness of the soul walks with the firmness of the spirit, and every relationship flourishes within the channel of a sacred boundary. Rimita, Quantum Challenge. 24 hours. Apply a kind and clear no in a specific situation during the day. Write down the sensation in your body, the immediate result, and a gesture of gratitude. Seal it with 3 heart coherence breaths. 1. Activation code. Chant at a medium volume with your palms over your heart for 1 minute. Ra, El, Ha, Om. Final declaration. I guard my energy and allow love to order my relationships in prosperity with love.